There were 3 guys in an airplane. One guy dropped a rock, another dropped a brick, and the last dropped a grenade. When they got back on the ground, they were walking down the street and they saw a woman crying. Being the gentlemen they are, they went up to ask her why she was crying. She said, "A rock fell from the sky, landed on my cat, and now my cat has passed away." The men said they were very sorry to hear that, and they walked away. The next house they came across, a little further down the road, there was another woman crying. Being the gentlemen they are, they walked up to her and asked her why she was crying. She said, "A brick fell from the sky, landed on my dog, and now my dog has passed away." The men said they were very sorry to hear that, and they walked away. The next house they came across, a little further down the road, had a man laughing his head off. Wondering what was so funny, they went up to ask him. After they asked him, he replied, "I bent over to get the newspaper this morning. I farted and my whole house blew up." An Indian has a seat between 2 Pakistanis on board an airplane. It's quite obvious that each of the 3 men knows where they are from. The Indian asks, "Pardon me, gentlemen, you wouldn't mind me sitting between you, do you? This is my seat, after all." The Pakistanis look at each other and then look back at him. One of them smiles and says, "Not at all. After all, Pakistanis and Indians are brothers, are we not?" The Indian is delighted at how warm and friendly they are, and he takes his seat. Shortly, the plane takes off, and the 3 guys are just chilling until the Indian says, "You know it's going to be a long ride, and I am getting thirsty. Brothers, can I get any of you a drink?" Then one of them says, "Yes, brother, I would like a Coke." The Indian slips off his shoes and walks barefoot to where the stewardess is, and when the Indian is out of view, one of the Pakistanis spits into his shoe. The Indian comes back and gives him a Coke. Then the other Pakistani says, "You know what, brother? I would also like a Coke too." The Indian happily obliges, and as soon as he is out of view, he also spits in his shoe before the Indian gives him a Coke. Finally, the Indian slips on his shoes and suddenly realizes how wet they are. He shakes his head and says, "Brothers, why must we do this to each other, spitting in each other's shoes and peeing in each other's Cokes?"